Habari Ghani Tribe. Happy Wednesday. It is officially Wind Down Wednesday. And so for you guys, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to enter the room, right? I'm going to grab my glass. I'm going to take a sip because it is Wind Down Wednesday. So you listen, you guys, if you guys are tuning in for the very first time, Habari Ghani, welcome to the tribe. If you guys are regulars, right? You're officially a part of the tribe. Welcome back. My name is Angie Digante. I'm the owner of Accent Styles Boutique, where we give you the opportunity to purchase with a purpose. And so, what does that mean exactly? It means that a percentage of every single sale goes towards sending kids in Kenya to school. We are located right in the heart of Tampa, Florida, 2742, right? North Florida Avenue. I already see my girl Ayana's online. She's like, hey, right? Listen, I love the support, especially people that are regular part of the tribe. If you haven't already, you guys can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok at Accent Styles Boutique. And if you're far away, right, you can't make your way to 2742, definitely check us out online at Accent Styles Boutique. But it's Wind Down Wednesday, right? It is Wind Down Wednesday. So you don't have to have wine to wind down. You can have tea, you can have coffee, you can have water, whatever your preference is. And so, for those of you guys that are tuning in tonight, how do you guys unwind? Right? Do you guys unwind with a cup of coffee? Do you guys unwind with a massage? Listen, when I get home, one of the many ways I unwind is immediately, right? Immediately unbuttoning the pants. I love to unbutton my pants. It's one of the best ways to unwind. And so if you guys are tuning in with me, right? Feel free, shout out your city and let me know how are you winding down tonight. Right? Alila Jenkins said, I unwind with a good book, right? Who doesn't love a great book to read? Okay, so we have one saying how she unwinds. Ayana, how do you unwind? Let me peek at my Facebook too, right? You guys know that I always have my handy dandy phone in my hand. That way I can observe. Let me see. Let me see. Someone said, I unwind with wine, and that is my favorite. Right? So listen, you guys. Ayana said, I'm winding down with the movie tonight, right? I feel like fall is the perfect time to have beautiful movies, right? Typically, they have the movies with the feels. I know that they have more towards the time of Christmas, but I feel like fall just creates like this atmosphere for like family and cuddles, right? She said, a mermaid movie, that is. Right? So it wasn't even a love movie. My beautiful friend is unwinding with a mermaid movie. So if you guys haven't already discovered, like Ayana is one of the best mer women around. She's a beautiful mermaid. I love seeing her images. They absolutely bring me so much joy and so much life. So tonight, you guys are probably like, what are we talking about tonight? So we're diving into business tips. Oh, that is not what we're diving into. It had a day with Benny. That was last week, honey. So we're diving into business tips. We're gonna have story time where you get to decide, right? That's something a little bit new. You guys are gonna decide the story time. And of course, we are going to talk about the upcoming events. And so right? Big love. It's always big love for you, Ayana. So listen, you guys. So the first thing we're gonna dive into is business tips, right? We love a good business tip, right? Right. We have someone that says, "Do your ears hang low?" Right? Maybe they're making reference to the earrings. I never know, right? But I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the interactions. So, listen, you guys. So, the first thing we are diving into is business tips, right? I love a good business tip. And so this week we are chatting about risk versus reward. And so in business, right? Sometimes we get overzealous. We're ready to do the unspeakable. We're ready to invest lots of money. We're ready to invest lots of time. We are like, we're quickly ready to see the results, especially if your business is at a standstill, especially if you've had your business for a great amount of time, right? And you're like, God, like, why? Why is the business not excelling the way I want it to excel, right? Why is it not moving at the rate that I want it to move? And so, listen, in business, we have to, right? We have to weigh out our risk versus reward. And so we have to ask ourselves, like, is this, right? Is the amount of money that I'm investing in this going to bring a reward? If I invest this amount of money and don't see a result, will I be broke? Right? Will I be able to survive? Will my business still be able to thrive? Will my business still be able to win? Right? And these are the things that we should ask ourselves. Like, let's weigh out the risk versus reward. If I pay $50, right, into a Facebook marketing investment where they are going to run an ad and promote my business, and I may or may not gain the followers or get the sales online that I desire, right? Will that $50 ruin me? Will it make or break me, right? A $50 promotion is a very small investment, right? It's very small. It's not something that is going to be pivotal or hurt our business. It's not going to hurt it or harm it in any extreme way. So we can weigh out the risk versus reward and say, hey, $50, right, is a win. I can do that. I can invest the $50. I can afford to lose that, right? So that is our business tip for today, right? I want to chat a bit about the Patreon account. If you guys have Patreon, right? Or if you're just interested in joining Patreon because you're like, I really want to dive deeper about the business tips. I really want to hear a more in-depth explanation of the risk versus reward. Then you definitely want to go to Patreon, look up Angie Digante or Accent Styles Boutique, where you can officially be a part of the Patreon tribe. We talk about social media audits, right? Where I literally get all up in your social media business and tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and what you could be doing more of. We have 2 monthly meetups where we meet virtually. We're able to voice our concerns in our business, talk about how to make it better. And I also give you guys lots of assignments, right? Alila Jenkins, officially a part of the tribe, she's like, period, right? Because that is one aspect that I absolutely love, right? I want to see us win together. It's not just a me thing, it's not just a you thing, it is a us thing. I want to see us win, especially when it comes to business, right? I know that you guys are desperately, right, sitting on the edge of your chairs. You're like, when is story time and what do I get to decide, right? But before we dive into that, let's chat about upcoming events, right? So most recently, we had our sip and shop. Our sip and shop was on Saturday, right? It was between the hours of 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. It was absolutely wonderful. Listen, you guys showed up. You guys showed out. You guys supported. A lot of you guys got fabulous things on sale, right? You guys got a lot of the beautiful things at a fraction of the cost, right? Layla said you missed it and we had a time. Oh, I'm glad that you guys actually love the business chats, right? Hello, Tamika. Thank you for tuning in. I can see people tuning in into my Facebook Live. So, listen, you guys, let me see. So, upcoming events. Of course, we have the Kenya 2024 tour. If you haven't already, hello, Caleb Exantes. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, then you definitely want to sign up for Kenya 2024. The dates are the 20th through the 29th, right? If you're interested, you guys can find out the details on Eventbrite. You can literally email me or DM me, but my email is across the screen. There are so many things that happen on this tour, right? It is 9 days of culture. is 9 days of tradition. It is 9 days of getting to know yourself on the motherland or in the motherland, right? Hello, Mr. Pineapple. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are going to feed the giraffes. You're going to walk with the animals, right? You're literally going to have the freshest food, right? I feel like every country you visit, the best way to become more and more acquainted with the country and your surrounding is with the food. I talk about the boat ride because it's one of my favorite things to do. If you guys are tuning in, feel free to chime in, right? Let me know, what is your favorite activity to do when you are abroad? Is it like, something close by the water? Is it something where you get to know the locals? Is it something where you get the most picturesque photo where people are like, where are you? Like, where are you? What are you doing? How did you get there? And who is hosting this beautiful experience? Alayla said, definitely trying the new food and snacks. Caleb Exons is on Facebook and he said, walk with the monkeys too, huh? I cannot. Ayana said, water activities, photos, food, and fun, right? I feel like water activities is definitely me. I love to be close by the water. I love the beautiful beaches. I love the boat rides. I love, riding on the jet skis. I love all of those types of water activities. Most recently in Zanzibar, we had the opportunity to boat on a glass bottom boat, right? And so if you have never been on a glass bottom boat, it's basically the same structure as a regular boat. The only difference is the bottom is clear. So it gives you the opportunity to see the fish, to see the coral reefs, to see all of the beauty that is under the sea, the things that you typically would not be able to see from surface level. And so I really love that. And then photos, right? Because if there's no photo, it never happened, right? It never happened. So, yes, definitely photos and food and fun and water activities. And yes, jet skis for sure. So, I see so many comments. You guys, listen, I see so many people that are rocking out for me right now on YouTube world. So shout out to the YouTube tribe. You guys are really heavy tonight. I don't think you guys can see all of the numbers that are taking place. But shout out to the YouTube tribe. Shout out to Facebook. Shout out to Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love when you guys shower me with the support. And so listen, you guys, it is officially story time, right? Story time where you get to decide. And so, listen, so the two topics we have, right, are, do you guys want to hear about my experience with an angry customer? Or do you guys want to hear about my really terrible Uber ride, right? It's your choice. You decide. I'm going to give you guys some time to type and some time to vote. You guys cannot see me, but I'm also taking a really small wine break. But I'm giving you guys some time to vote. Someone said, I'm messy, so angry customer. Right? We have another person that said, angry customer. Listen, you guys. Everybody wants to hear about the encounter. Right? Okay, someone said, why not both? Why not both? I could do both, right? I could, but I would love to hear, right? I would love to hear the people speak. And so I've heard a lot of people say they want to hear the story of my encounter with the angry customer. So maybe I should just start with that one first, right? Maybe I should just start with that one first. Oh, I see a few more votes coming in. I see someone has said, someone said, oh boy, right? Oh boy, having a bad customer is never good. Oh boy. And someone said, yes, both, please, right? Ayana's like, give me both, give me both. You guys are so greedy. Okay, let me give you guys both, right? I have 15 minutes. I'm officially on here for 15 minutes and 7 seconds. I love to be on here less than 30. So I'm doing great, right? Round of applause for me. I'm doing great. Listen. So let's dive into the story of the angry customer. Right. So I've only had like two angry customers in my entire lifetime. Um, one that was just like really out of control. I think I've told the per story. But right, my most recent one, which still wasn't that recent, was the angry customer that was very upset with her purchase. Right. So she purchased an item, she received her item, and she was very, I guess, like unhappy with it. I'm not sure if she was unhappy with the time frame that she received it, or if she was unhappy with the product itself. I don't want to say it was the product itself, because one thing I pride myself on is providing authentic and beautiful accessories, and then being exactly the way you see them in the image. Typically on the website, I do videos, I do a photo, and then on lives, you actually see me wearing the item so you can see the item in its true size. And so, with all of that being said, she was extremely upset. And not only did she call, right, and leave a nasty message, but she also decided to email. She emailed me. She left a terrible message, right? She wrote out this long dissertation of her feelings and how she was upset, and not Mr. Pineapple dropping the pineapples and the Brazilian flag on Facebook. Listen, if you guys want to be able to see your comments flash across the screen, the best place to view this is on YouTube. For whatever reason, YouTube definitely allows the comments to pop up a lot easier. So you can always go to YouTube, type in Angie Digante, and you will be able to tune in live and have your comments flash across the screen. Otherwise, your comments are here. Your comments are on the Facebook Live. But Mr. Pineapple has the pineapple and the Brazilian flag thrusting across the screen. And so Layla says, oh, no, ma'am, right? So she sent this long dissertation about how she was frustrated and she was upset and she demanded a refund, right? I demand, right? She didn't demand a recount, she demanded a refund. And so I wrote her back and I let her know that I was, very apologetic. I don't know why she was upset with her product, but I understand that she's upset with her product. But we do not offer refunds. We do sometimes offer an exchange, but I would like to bless her, right? I would love to. Hello, Willie. Thank you for tuning in. I would love to give her a gift card for the same price of the item that she purchased, and I would allow her to keep the item and regift it to someone else. And so she was absolutely still upset, right? That's the word. She was still angry. She was still upset. And she did not want to take the gift card. She didn't want to hear any of that. She's like, not only am I calling my bank to receive a refund, but I'm also going to let all of my friends and all of my family know that you guys sell terrible products, right? Mr. Pineapple said, no refunds, no grace, huh? No grace. I feel like if you purchase an item, right, there's a window. There's a 7-day window, a 5-day window. But I also understand that when you have a product that sells eccentric products like myself, one of a kind pieces like myself, that people will buy items from designer, sometimes, not saying this was the case for her, but sometimes out of their price point with the hopes of returning them. And so I don't think that a no refund or exchange policy is bad, as long as the person understands before they make their purchase. They have the sound understanding that there is no refund and there is no exchange. And so all those details are policy. They're on the website. You are issued that before you ever make your purchase, right? And so you are fully aware of what you're getting yourself into, right? Willie Hannah said, my mother loves every product I've ever gotten her. Shout out to Willie. Willie is one of my biggest supporters. He always comes in here and he grabs beautiful items for his mom. And so Mr. Pineapple said this was a woman that did this, right? It was a woman. And so back to Willie, right? Back to Willie. So Willie is a phenomenal friend and a beautiful supporter. And whenever he comes in here and he supports, right? And he says that he's purchasing something for his mom. At first, I was like, mom, right? Because we have these people. I always jokingly say that every man that ever enters my store is always shopping for his mom or his sister. It's never his wife, it's never his girlfriend. It's always his mom or his sister. I was like, there's no way that only single men come to Accent Styles Boutique. But honey, I promise you, they enter this place and they become so single. They become so single. And so that's just me being silly with Willie. I know that Willie is buying things for his mom. He is one of the best supporters, a genuine supporter, and a phenomenal poet. So if you guys ever have any open mics or you need a host or you need someone to do some phenomenal poetry for your wedding, definitely hit him up. Mr. Pineapple said, wearing them and returning it. He also mentioned, like, I shop for myself. Let me see. Alayla said Accent Styles is really a non-refundable shop. So you got to get a gift card. So her getting a gift card was generous. Yes, her getting a gift card was generous. Ayana said, I think you were more than generous with the offer you gave, which was outside of your policy. She's just mad she can't have it her way and doesn't have to come back. Right? Listen, so she sent me the email and she was like, not only is she upset and not only is she calling her bank to get a refund, which she can't. If you guys have Shopify, definitely pay for the insurance that will protect you from exchanges, protect you from people calling their bank and receiving refunds. I think it's like an extra 20 to $50 a month, depending on your revenue and how many sales you get per month. But it is definitely something that is going to protect you in the long run. And so, one of the things that I require is sometimes an online, like a digital signature or a digital confirmation or an address or something that basically verifies that the person themselves is making a purchase and that it isn't fraudulent. And so that protects me every time people call their banks and they get no refund. And I love that for me. And so, right? So she called the bank. The bank didn't give her a refund. And so she really starts to get nasty. She's like, I'm telling all my friends and family to never shop at your store. And I said, honey, please tell all your friends and all your family because if they are anything like you, I never want them in my store. Right. And so I feel like there's this air where people think that business owners have to be like so humble and so fragile and so delicate. Right. And I think you can provide customer service and still stand your ground. And you don't have to bend over backwards and you don't have to fold and you don't have to leave the beliefs of your policies or your morale. Right. And so I let Honey know, right? That's her name. I let Honey know. If these customers, right? If your friends, your mama, your sister, your cousin, your brother, if they're anything like you, Skiza, listen to me. Please tell them to never shop with me. Please tell them to never shop with me because I never want to see their faces. I never want to see them in Accent Styles Boutique. Um, you're doing me a favor. Actually, I'm like, can you please send me a list? Send me a list so I can ban them myself. And so, right? Alayla's like, how is she mad? She read the policy before shopping, right? Wilhelmina said, no, ma'am, you got to be strong. You have to be strong. Willie's like, the customer is always right. A lie. So let me tell you guys, I was at the gas station and I was like, can I get 30 on pump one? And the guy's like, you're on pump two. And it was easy for him to tell which pump I was at because I was the only car at the gas station. And I looked, I was like, oh, I'm actually pump two. And so he's like, but the customer's always right. So would you like for me to put gas on pump one? And it was the funniest thing, I promise you. Um, Hello, Twan Williams. Thank you for tuning in. And so Mr. Pineapple said boundaries in business. And so I think that's a beautiful thing. I think creating boundaries in business and standing on boundaries in your life is one of the most beautiful things. It's definitely a muscle. You have to build it. You have to learn to flex it and be comfortable flexing it, but it is definitely something that has to take place. You have to be able to say no. You have to be able to state your policies. You have to be able to know when someone is taking advantage of you and stand on your policy. If you do not, your business will continuously be ran over. And so that brings to mind like the other encounter, because I feel like I've only had two bad business encounters. I had a woman and she really wanted to haggle me. She wanted to bargain on my price. And I feel like the old Angie, the less seasoned Angie, the less mature Angie, the Angie that was waffling in her business and treated it like a hustle and not like her sole and primary source of income would have fumbled. I would have fumbled the deal. I would have folded. She wanted to negotiate the price of the purse, and I let her know that it wasn't negotiable. I let her know, it's not a market. The price is on the purse, and the price is the price. And so, she looked around and she was like, "But you need this sale, right? You need the sale. I'm the only one in your store." I was like, "Right now? You weren't the only person today. You're the only person in the store right now." And so she's like, "You need this sale." And I was like, "BIB, the only thing that I need is water and God. I do not need this sale, right? I do not need your sale." I'm like, this purse, right? I'm going to exercise my right of refusal and not sell you this purse, because this purse will literally collect dust before I sell it to you, right? And so I think in that moment, um, that was like one of the point in times where I had officially, right? Ayana was like, facts, where Mr. Pineapple was like, the price are the price, right? The price are the prices. And so that is the time I think that I actually built that muscle. And so I was like, honey, the price is the price, right? And officially the price is, there's no price for you because you are not getting this purse. And I could tell that she really wanted it because of the way that she haggled and the way that she was holding it. And I have this gift to be able to see desperation on people's faces. And so, yeah, I was like, I'm not selling you this bag. I am not selling you this bag. Layla Jenkins said, if you can't place boundaries in personal relationships, then placing them for a work setting will be hard. It's a muscle, right? It's a muscle. Ayana said facts, right? Everything above. She agrees with everything on this screen right now. Everything you see, Ayana's in agreement, right? It is a muscle. And muscles sometimes take time to build. They take time to be able to define them in definition. But over time, I promise you, if you keep working them out, you will be able to flex, right? Twan said, good for you. Mr. Pineapple said, you're not my clientele, right? And so when I first opened Accent Styles Boutique, I was located at, I had a table, right? I started on Facebook Live, and then I built my way up to a table where I would sell my earrings and my accessories and all of the small things. I would sell them. And then eventually I entered into a store. And so I think like you just learn to like flex this muscle the more serious you become and the more that you enter into your business. And so as I begin to grow, right, physically into my business, a bigger space and multiple locations, I begin to grow mentally and I was able to flex that muscle, right? And so I remember entering the space that I'm in now, 2742 North Florida Avenue. And I remember clear as day, right? Clear as day. I remember God saying, like, increase my prices. And it was something that I was very nervous about, right? I did not want to increase my prices. I was like, really thinking like my customers are used to my earrings being this price, and my customers are used to being for shoes being this price. And so I was like, do I need to give them a warning? Like, do I need to inform, my customers that prices are going up or there's about to be an increase? And then clear as day, I heard like, you never get a warning when gas goes up, right? We never get a warning when gas goes up, but it happens, right? It happens before we know it. And then people are only talking about the increase, but no one ever prepared us for the increasing. And so when I increased my prices, I was terrified, right? I was absolutely terrified that I was going to lose my customers, right? And so God is like, you won't lose your customers. You'll get new clientele. Those people aren't your people, right? If my people come in and they see the rates of houses going up and they are asking for, right, asking for raises at their job, why do I not deserve a raise? Why should I be living on minimum wage? Why should I not be comfortable? It's like I literally started my business because one, I wanted to be comfortable. Two, I wanted to live in the overflow. Three, I wanted to create, right, my own wages and my own income. And so I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that being afraid to increase my prices. And so listen, oh, Twang said your items are worth every penny. Great products. Thank you. Listen, so Twan Williams is definitely one of the best. When I say the best at videography, he has shot a commercial for me in the past. And it is absolutely wonderful. Whenever people ask me for a 30-second or a 1-minute pitch, I send them the video that he made for me. His company is called A-Dub. So you guys feel free to go on Instagram or on Facebook, type in A-Dubs, ADUBBS, and you guys will be able to find and locate his company. Definitely hire him for all of your graphic needs. You will not be disappointed. He's effective, efficient, professional. He takes his time and he walks you through every single step to prepare you before you ever shoot the commercial. Willie Hannah said there's Ralph Lauren and then there's Ralph Lauren Purple Label. If you can't afford it, then maybe you don't belong, right? Maybe you don't belong. And it's a sad thing, but I'm standing on my worth. I'm standing on my value. I am standing on my principle. And so Alayla said, it's beautiful how God guides us, right? It is beautiful, right? When God guides us. There's a scripture, I think it's Jeremiah 20, is it 29:11? It I'm listen, don't quote me right now, but there's a scripture and it says like he knows the plans that he has for us are good, right? And I trust the plans that he has for me. When you hear those, when you feel him guiding you, or you hear those whispers, I trust those plans, right? I trust the vision that he has for my life. And so therefore, like the prices went up. The price is the price, and the prices went up, right? Yesterday's price, yesterday's price is not today's price. Listen. So I know that I asked you guys, I was like, you guys should decide, do you guys want to hear the angry customer or the bad Uber? And most of you guys said both. Most of you guys, hi Aggie. Thanks for tuning in, beautiful. You guys, my bestest friend is tuning in right now. She is one of the best celebrity hairstylists. Definitely check her out on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, right? Check her out on all of the platforms. I promise you, like she has touched the hair of all the greats. Or should I say, the great has touched them. Right? So Elder Wombs is Isaiah 29:11. That's what it is. Isaiah 29:11. That's what it is. Isaiah 29:11. Aggie said, hi, boo. Right? So people are saying they wanted to hear both. And so, listen, you guys, I was on my way. I wish I had like, video footage or like photo footage to like back this up. So I was on my way to tonight's conversations. Did you guys hear about tonight's conversations when it was in town? Right? You guys can show some hearts. You guys can definitely comment. So tonight's conversations, which is a really big podcast, was in Tampa, and I had VIP tickets, and I had the opportunity to be a part of the meet and greet where we get photos and we're able to get images. And if you know me, you already know I was running late. I was already behind schedule, right? Hair was behind, makeup was behind, clothes was behind. And so by the time I called my Uber, and by the time it took 15, 20 minutes for it to arrive, right, I was even more behind. And so as I'm like patiently waiting, I get in my Uber. I explain to him, like, I'm in a rush. Like, I'm hungry. I have to get to the place to eat. I have to get to the place to have my complimentary wine. I have to get to the place to take my photos. And so here's a short little clip of, the beginning of the turmoil. Listen, I cannot make things like this up. I am in my Uber, headed to an event that I said I was late for, and what does he do? He stops, he gets gas, and he asks me, did I need something at the store? I can't make this up. So listen, I can't make things like this up. I promise you. And so I'm running late, and homeboy stops for gas. Not only does he stop for gas, he's like, I'm just gonna grab a quick bite. I'm just gonna grab something, right? She's like, oh, right? He's like, I'm gonna grab a quick bite. Do you want something out of the store? And I get it, ultimately, right? Twan is laughing. Ultimately, I ended the night with some Twizzlers. I definitely got some Twizzlers out of it. I know that people have like these really terrible memes about people that, hello, K Rich. They have these terrible things about people that eat Twizzlers. They say they can eat like cable cords or charger cords. And I don't, but I really like Twizzlers. So he went in and he grabbed me some Twizzlers, but it's the fact that he stopped. And not only did he stop, he was like the most reckless driver. When I say like, bob and lanes, I get that I was late, but I wanted to get to tonight's conversation alive and not dead. Willie is laughing, Twan Williams is laughing, K Rich is laughing. Listen, if you guys are tuning in, definitely click on K Rich's page. Not only does she have a phenomenal page on Instagram called the KP Perspective, where she gives her interpretation of the word as a KP, right? But why do I keep saying K? Listen, it's not KP, it's a PK, it's a preacher's kid. Today has been a long day. PK Perspective, right? Go to PK Perspective, where she gives her interpretation of the word as a PK. And it is very humorous, it's very light, but all of it is rightly divided, right? It's very, very beautiful. And so I see, right? K Rich is like a very long day. She trained me this morning. She's also a phenomenal personal trainer. So you definitely, if you're trying to get your body right, you're trying to get your tempo in alignment, you're trying to make sure that when Boaz approaches you, right, that you look right. You don't got to get ready because you already ready. Then definitely hit her up. Willie Hannah said, Twizzlers, shake my head. I love Twizzlers. I absolutely love Twizzlers. They're my favorite. And so I eat all types of Twizzlers, the black Twizzlers, the flavored Twizzlers, the soft Twizzlers that you peel apart. I could go on and on. I like Twizzlers. They are my thing. Um, right? Alila said the smirk at the end of that video is crazy because I can't make things like that up. I don't know, not with the question. She said, so my question when you're done, will you go to the Cheesecake Factory as a date? I cannot. I really feel like she's trolling me right now. Is that like a question that you guys want to hear? Do you guys really want to know if I would go to the Cheesecake Factory as a date? Listen, so speaking of date, while you guys are answering, should I answer the question about Cheesecake Factory? Um, I most recently was having a conversation with my trainer, and I was telling her, my experience of entering the 32nd year, right? I turned 32 this summer. A lot of you guys, a lot of you guys, right, are maybe familiar. When you turn 32, people jokingly say like it is your magic year. Why? Because that is the year that, Oprah became a millionaire. I believe like Viola Davis's career took off. There's so many things that happen for people when they turn 32. And so I entered the year of 32 with Nobu, right? And it was a very, I don't want to say it was like bittersweet, but it was still a very, very beautiful birthday for me. And so I'm deciding next Wednesday to start a series. And in that series, I want to talk about the beauty of being 32 with no boo, right? The beauty of being 32 and single and what that feels like and how my career has like pivoted and how I spend my free time, right? How do I spend my free time? How do I spend my idle time? How do I spend that time that used to occupy the space of like dates or hanging out? Um, or basically being like, like an attentive girlfriend. Like, what does it look like now that I am 32 with no boo and, just enjoying all of life and the success of business? And so I know that you guys seen, right? For my birthday, I bought not one house, not two house, three house, right? So on my 32nd birthday, I bought three houses. And so I want to dive into like, what does that look like? Like, what does the new era look like for me? How am I navigating that space, and how you can navigate it also. And so, yeah, so next Wednesday, right, we are starting a series after business, after small chat, after our upcoming events. I'm definitely going to dive into 32 with no boo. And how beautiful it is. I feel like so many people feel like it's not a beautiful thing, or it's a sad thing for them, or they're like, I just want a man. And I know that I make posts, right? I know that I always, make posts to be funny. And I'm always talking about, proposals are welcomed, and I want this, and I'm going with my man to Cheesecake Factory, and I make these jokes, right? But all jokes aside, I feel like singlehood is very beautiful. And so I know that I post, right? Because someone like challenged me a few days ago. They were like, but I thought you said, and I thought you posted, and I thought you wanted a man. And I was like, I know, listen, Facebook is literally to be social. It's social media so I can be social. But the realities are, right? The realities are that I'm very happy. The realities are that I am winning. The realities are that my time, I'm spending it very productively. And as I am the happiest, right? I am the happiest that I have been in a very long time. And that doesn't take from them, right? Because I don't want anyone to see this like start to twist my words or create a different narrative, right? My relationship was very, very beautiful. Me being single is very, very beautiful as well. And so I want to take you guys like on this singlehood journey with me. I want you guys to join me, right? As I jump on this boat and ride down, right, the river of singlehoodness, and share all of the fun, right? It's so much fun. Someone said, and we love that, right? Listen, me when I'm 32 and I'll be happy and traveling. Listen. So yeah, I want to take you guys literally down that path. Um yeah, cuz I planned a lot of things. I planned a bunch of things, and I enjoyed all of them, right? I enjoyed every last one of them. Solo dolo, right? I want y'all to type in the comments like solo dolo. I enjoyed them. Hello, Christina. Happy Wednesday. I know that you're not having wine, but feel free to still share how you are winding down. So yeah, I really want to share that with you guys. And to answer your question, right? Would I go on a date to cheesecake? I would. I would. I think I talked about this a bit earlier. It's not that let me start with, I don't think anything is wrong with a Cheesecake Factory date, right? But, right, but I am not a sit down and eat type of person. Let me see, I'm getting comments. Let me see, I'm trying to multitask. Um, Wait, so Willie Hannah said, so now you about to have more brothers coming through to buy merchandise for their mamas and their sisters? Listen. For those of you guys that are tuning in now, we had a conversation about how every guy that enters the store is single, and how every guy that enters the store is buying a gift for their mom or their wife. I mean, their mom or their sister, but it's never their wife. And so that's an insider, right? Willie is tuning in on Facebook. You guys can't see his comment, but he basically was saying, now you're about to have more brothers coming through the store and buying things for their mamas and their sister. Ayana said, I'll be happier and traveling solo dolo soon. Yes, you will, right? Snaps to that. You are going to be traveling. You're going to be thriving. You are going to be winning. You are going to be traveling, right? Solo dolo. And so I feel like I keep like maneuvering past this question, but let me answer it. It's the last thing that I'm going to answer before I log off. And yes, I would go to Cheesecake Factory as a date, but overall, I am not the type of person that enjoys like a sit down eating date. Right. So if you guys are tuning in, I do not enjoy dates where I'm sitting down and eating. I have body goals, I have fitness goals, and I typically get off work at 6. I don't enjoy eating after 6. Um, I love active dates. I love like hiking, going to the movies. No, I don't like movies. I lied. I like hiking. I'll go to a play. I will not go to a movie. I love going to like theater plays, the beach, a bike ride, skating, something very active, something that doesn't incorporate like me sitting down and not achieving my fitness goals, you know? So yeah, definitely there's no problem, right? I'm not holding anything against anyone that can afford, right? Afford Cheesecake Factory, because I feel like women ask for so much. I feel like the first date should not be something that breaks the bank. I don't feel like the first date should be something that is over the top, because you haven't even properly identified if you like this person, or if you enjoy this person, or if the conversation will be well. And so I think it's an extreme, like it's an extreme waste of money for people to spend too much on the first date. I feel like it's a huge responsibility for men, right? Especially if they are serial dating, they're getting to know more than one person, and they have to pay for more than one date. I think it's absolutely ridiculous for the place to be that expensive. Um, so I don't see any problem with Cheesecake Factory. I don't see any problem with a coffee date. I don't see any problem, with going to some place for lunch and grabbing a lunch special or ordering off a cheaper menu like the lunch menu. I think it speaks to a man that's responsible with his finances. I think that it definitely speaks when he pays for the entire bill. So it speaks that he is willing to take responsibility. Like he wants to be head of household. He wants to, make sure that you're comfortable. He wants to shower you with good eats, right? So I think that you won't get any deduction points for taking me to Cheesecake Factory, but you might get a deduction point for not paying for the first date, because I think it shows your intention. I think as dates progress, right? As dates progress, maybe there'll be a time that we take turns. Like I might pay for dinner, you might pay for dinner. But there's also ways to be creative on a budget, right? How creative can you be and still stay on budget? Can you do wine on the beach? Can you take me to an art show, like a museum on a free day? Can you take me, to a $10 poetry night? Like there's lots of ways, right, that you can be creative and still stay on budget without going to Cheesecake Factory. Now, I know that you guys are making like comments from the video that was posted where the woman absolutely refused to go to Cheesecake Factory. But but I think like that woman wasn't in the right headspace. She was definitely, I don't think she was trying to get to know him. She was trying to I think she was just trying to spin his bag. The fact that she felt like she was worth more and she equated that more to the restaurant that she was dining at was absolutely crazy. I think that I wouldn't care where a person took me. I think that the way that I equate my value and being worth more is, how do you treat me? Right? How do you talk to me? Are you opening the door for me? Are you pulling out my chair? Are you allowing me to order first? Are you having conversations that challenge my mindset? Are you blessing the food before we eat it? Right? These are the things that I'm thinking about. These are the things that are making me consider forever. It's not the restaurant, right? Because maybe you got like big pockets and a small heart. I really don't care how much money you spend, right? It's about, how do I feel on this date? Um, and Layla's like, I love that. No, I don't love the movies. I lied. Because I did. I felt myself rattling things off, but I'm like, I don't love the movies. Um, Ayana's like, I love outdoor activities for dates, but I'm also a foodie, so I like restaurants. Doesn't have to break the bank though. Ayana said, true, all that. And a bag of chips, yes, ma'am. Right? So listen, Kayla said, yes, brunch date me, babes. She also said, how creative can you be and knowing my likes? Be intentional about knowing and getting to know me. Right? And so that's a big thing, big facts, right? How intentional are you about getting to know me in the small conversations? How intentional are you about getting to know me in my mannerisms, right? Do you notice, when you sit too close to me, maybe I have past trauma. Like if you sit too close to me, do I become uncomfortable? Does my breathing change? Um, if you are holding my hand too long, do I pull away? Like these are all things. Like, do I smile, when we have dessert after dinner? Like these are the things that I want you to pay attention to. These are the things that will speak to me. And so I'm not worried about your pockets. Listen, I really feel like people probably gonna take it the wrong way, or maybe like me too to my own horn, but I'm like, my pocket's big enough. I'm not worried about your pockets. Like, do I want you to have pockets? Yes, but by all means, like, I'm not jumping inside your pockets and worrying about you over there, because we debt free over here, right? This business is operating outside of debt, right? My houses are paid off, my cars are paid off. So by all means, like, I'm not looking at you for financial gain. I'm looking for at you for emotional support. And so, how happy do you make me? Right? How happy do you make me? Do you make me smile? Um, do you heal my past? Right? Do you heal my wounds? Right? Do you create safe spaces for me to excel and exude in my feminine energy? And so these are things that I'm looking for, right? These are the things that I am looking for. And it doesn't mean that I didn't have that before. And if y'all tuning in, please don't slide into my DM. It's not something I'm looking for right now. I'm so terrible. I'm just giving life advice. I'm just giving you guys advice and answering, right? Answering these things based off how I feel. But by all means, someone said, woo child, right? Because I feel like, listen, I feel like I gave a lot right now. And I feel like y'all probably like, oh, this is what she's looking for, this is what I'm gonna be. But the realities are, I'm looking for nothing right now. I'm looking for nothing. I'm looking for nothing. um she said, IDK, pockets can say a lot about someone. You don't want anyone with lint balls in their pockets. Listen, I cannot. Y'all are really cutting up right now. Y'all are really cutting up right now. Not lint balls in the pockets. Listen. I cannot. I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough for the night. Let me leave while the video is still redeemable. Uh, let me exit while the video is still redeemable. Listen, I got a early morning tomorrow. I'm training with K Rich. And so I probably should get home and relax and properly unwind, because clearly, you guys see the murals. I am still I'm still at the store. I'm still at the boutique an hour. I guess like officially like 2 hours after business hours. And so yeah, I have really loved rocking with you guys, clearly, because I've been on here for 52 minutes and 57 seconds. And that is by far the longest time that I have ever been on here. And so thank you guys for rocking with me tonight. I really, really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And for those of you guys, right, that are tuning in, if you're in YouTube world, definitely subscribe. We could use all the support. We appreciate you guys. Again, I am Angie Digante. I'm the owner of Accent Styles Boutique. We are located in Tampa, Florida. And you can go ahead and type Accent Styles Boutique into Instagram, into TikTok, into Facebook, and definitely give us a follow. We have Wind Down Wednesday every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. And so set your alarms. It is officially a thing, right? We are up, we are running, and I am looking forward to seeing you guys every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Peace, love, and lots of African culture. I love you guys. Nakupenda. Sana, sana, sana. Bye.